Muppet fans, and welcome to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is now officially the podcast where we watch the Muppet Christmas Carol 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
And I am your other host, Anthony Strand, back again, talking about the Muppets with my co-host and friend. It's Ryan Rowe from Austin TX. If it doesn't feel like Christmas yet, it will next. A podcast present coming down from the shelf. I play Charles Dickens and Ryan plays himself. Michael Caine, two-time Oscar winner, paid Bean Bunny to bring us a turkey dinner. No more sleeps until we start this gig. We're going to throw a party just like Fozziwig. When love is gone, you'll find some more right here. Every single week, a hit of Christmas cheer. 2 minutes at a time, right down to the wire. So throw another shovel full of coal on the fire. We'll have some great guests. We just can't go wrong. It's Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm moving right along.
Wow. MC Anthony Strand, everyone.
Yeah, that's me. That stands for Media Center, which is where I work because I'm a school librarian.
That's it. Yeah. The amazing thing is he just made that all up off the top of his head just now. That was freestyle.
Yeah, it was all freestyle. No, so yeah, I wrote that like a month ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since.
You've just been waiting, just quivering with excitement to be able to use that.
I practiced so many times.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I will tell everyone that was one take. You got through the whole thing.
I did. Like I said, I've done it so many times.
Very impressive.
I don't know. Well, and I was going to say I don't know why, but I kind of do know why. And it's because this movie is from 1992.
Right.
And back in that era of time, a lot of movies inexplicably had rap theme songs over the closing credits.
Well, it was like rap had gone mainstream sort of a few years earlier, I guess. I mean, and maybe by mainstream we just mean that like mild-mannered white people were starting to embrace it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Such as ourselves.
Right.
And but so I thought it would be fun if our podcast had inexplicable rap theme for the start of the new season.
Absolutely. So in the vein of you mentioned the Addams Family rap.
Right. Well, so because the first Addams Family movie has the MC Hammer theme.
Oh,
Addams
yeah.
Groove. Yeah. Play how they want to play, live how they want to live, do what they want to do, that thing. But Addams Family Values has a much better one, which is Addams Family Whoomp by Tag Team.
Yes.
Which is one of the greatest things ever made. And that's why I started this with Back Again, right? Because
right, of course.
Much like the original Whoomp There It Is, it starts out Tag Team Back Again with the Addams Family. Right.
Yeah, that's great. They really made the most of that one. I'm sure they had another hit that I don't remember, but they really made the most of that one big hit that they had, Tag Team.
Right. Well, it's funny though, because Whoomp There It Is starts out with Tag Team Back Again, but I don't know if they had ever been there
back again
yet,
from where?
You know? Yeah. And then so actually we talked about this and I looked it up hoping to find that there were like a dozen Tag Team Whoomp songs. You know, in the vein of like Monster Mash.
Yeah, I kind of thought there were.
The twist. As far as I can tell, those are the only two Whoomps are the original song. And because if you look on the Wikipedia page for Whoomp There It Is, one of the subheadings is Addams Family Values Remix.
Oh, okay, so that was it. I might be conflating this with the Disney Mambo Number 5, but I just have
a little bit of Goofy having fun, a little bit of Minnie in the sun. Yeah,
that's the one. I just have this image though of Tag Team doing Whoomp There It Is at a Disney theme park with the costume Disney characters. But maybe that was just like a TV special and they were just doing the song without changing the lyrics.
It's not like Whoomp, Donald Duck and Friends. There it is, or whatever. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Because like this song literally goes Whoomp, Addams Family, there it is.
Yeah,
during
perfect.
The chorus. Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And then the other one that I was thinking of was Turtle Power by Partners in Crime, the rap from the end credits of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Another classic.
Turtles movie. And then also Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice from Turtles 2.
Yeah.
You know? So there were like genuinely a lot of Muppet Christmas Carol, of course, does not have one.
No, and it's really too bad that you were, just a little kid at the time, so you couldn't contribute your rap to the movie when it came out.
Right. Well, and although I like the idea that this rap that I just wrote, that's like mostly about us, and calls Michael Caine. Right, and calls Michael Caine a 2-time Oscar winner, which he was only a 1-time Oscar winner
right,
when this film came out.
But... Yes, well, we will get to that as we continue talking about Muppet Christmas Carol. That's right, we're starting a new movie, a new season of this podcast, and we are going to be talking about a Christmas movie for 40 plus weeks.
I'm so excited.
I hope everyone loves Christmas and loves to keep Christmas with them all through the year.
I think you mean that I hope it feels like Christmas.
Yeah, every week.
Because that's the one from this movie with that theme.
It's true, yes. And if that isn't a true blue miracle, I don't know what one is. So
Santa Claus knows all about you, Cookie Monster. He'll bring you some cookies.
This was released on December 11th, 1992 in the U.S. It had release dates, various other release dates in other countries. Did you see this in the theaters when it came out?
I did not. I saw this on VHS for the first time. Okay. So I was just about to turn 8 when this came out. So right. I was certainly in the target audience, but my youngest brother was like 2.5, so I think.
Oh yeah, it's hard to go see it, as a whole family.
Yeah, going to see a movie with the 4 kids and the 2 littlest ones at that time. Yeah. Kind of an ordeal,
Right, sure. Well, I saw this in the theater with my family at the holidays or shortly before the holidays. I also remember how I first found out about it, which was an ad in an issue of Disney Adventures magazine.
That checks out.
No longer exists, but like this magazine that made me feel so cool because it was digest sized, but it was for kids. Yeah. But it was like I'm a kid, but I'm a sophisticated big kid because I'm reading this Disney Adventures magazine.
A magazine where the covers routinely featured like, here's Rick Moranis and Baloo or whatever.
I believe Rick Moranis was on the first cover with Goofy, actually, of the first issue, if I remember right. Yeah.
Well, just whatever though. It's like a human person and a Disney character.
Yes, exactly. So this one
normally.
This one, I remembered that it was actually the special 3D issue. So I was able to track it down. Oh. It's the issue with Will Smith and Magica Dispel on the cover. That's from November 1992.
But does this have an Aladdin comic in 3D? Or I might be thinking of a later issue.
They may have done more than one 3D issue.
Yeah. I had one with an Aladdin. And Aladdin would check out. I mean, that was a new release at this time,
Yeah, it would have been. I think this is the one that had a Weird Al comic in 3D, actually. Like Weird Al... Photos of Weird Al surrounded by like cartoon drawn characters, and the whole thing was in 3D. So it was very cool.
When you say a Weird Al comic in 3D, it's just a graphic novel adaptation of Weird Al's second album.
I wish. It was actually a spoof of Captain EO, which was a 3D
that's
film.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Is it a spoof of Captain EO about like Mr. Popeil and the Rye or the Kaiser?
No, it was just Weird Al like in space with a bunch of weird aliens and stuff.
Sounds awesome.
I don't remember what it was called. It might have been called Captain EIEIO or something like that. I don't know.
It's probably something like that, yeah.
Anyway, but that was the way that I found out that there was a new Muppet movie coming out. It was only a month before it was released. Just seeing this ad in a magazine, which is crazy now because I'm thinking about like the 2011 and 2014 movies where we probably knew about them at least a year and a half before they were released.
Yeah.
And just all this information just kept trickling out.
Right. I have no memory of when I first heard of this movie. Like I said, I was almost 8 when it came out, but it weirdly feels like it was always there.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's
still for you at that age, I guess.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Right.
My grandma had the VHS. I'm sure my brother Christopher and I talked about that when he was on the show last season. But that's where I saw it dozens of times. It was just, we're at my grandma, especially if it's Christmas time. We're watching this, over and over. But I probably saw it at her house, Christmas season 1993 for the first time.
Yeah, sure. So for me, seeing it as a new movie in the theater, I guess I knew or I assumed that they were going to keep making new Muppet stuff after Jim Henson died, just because there had been the celebration of Jim Henson special where Kermit says we're going to keep bringing more music and fun or whatever he says. So I don't know, maybe older fans were a little more cynical. I definitely didn't go into it like arms folded, like, all right, let's see what these guys can do. It's probably not going to be good. Like the Muppets aren't going to be good again.
Because you're 11, you're in sixth grade.
Exactly. So I was just like, cool, a new Muppet thing. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Although I was actually sort of skeptical about the fact that it's an adaptation of A Christmas Carol, because I had seen Mickey's Christmas Carol many times, the short film with all the Disney characters. And also there was a Bugs Bunny Christmas special that had a Christmas Carol spoof.
Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales.
Right.
Which is perhaps best known for inexplicably being in Lethal Weapon. When Mel Gibson is going to shoot himself, Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales is on the TV. Yeah, I mean, it's a Warner Brothers movie.
Is it?
So,
it takes place at Christmas time, though, right?
Takes place at Christmas time, yeah.
Okay.
But still, like, that's a bad special, and it was only 8 years old at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's not, One Froggy Evening or something.
Yeah,
it's
that
just
is
like a bad TV special.
I would love to know how that came about.
And we can't even ask Richard Donner now. R.I.P.
Yeah, too bad. But yeah, and then just before we get into the actual minutes, like it has been very interesting to see how this has gone on sort of a journey from being like this is the Muppet guys getting back together, trying to make a movie after Jim Henson and seeing how things goes, and now it's like this unimpeachable holiday classic. Everyone agrees that it's one of the best Christmas movies. It's one of the best Muppet movies.
It might be the Muppet movie that you see the most discussion of online.
Yeah, and I think that's because people watch it at least once a year. It's the one that there's a reason for them to watch it once a year.
Right.
So, it's a good movie. And today we are talking about minutes 1 and 2 of The Muppet Christmas Carol, in which we see logos and opening credits.
My two favorite parts.
Yeah. So, and by the way, what we're watching here is we have added When Love Is Gone essentially back into the film. So we're watching the whole thing all the way through, including that song, which is sometimes there and sometimes not there. So yeah, we're doing that 2 minutes at a time. This is minutes 1 and 2. The first thing we see is the old school Walt Disney Pictures logo.
Right. It's that bright blue where the screen is all blue, and then the castle, the like white lines castle is built, essentially. And that, first of all, gives me such a rush of nostalgia.
Right. Of course.
It's from our childhood, like you said. But also on Disney Plus, it's still there on this movie. I don't know if you went to go check. I wanted to double check because a lot of the animated movies from around this time do not have this logo on them on Disney.
Oh, Plus. Did they replace it with the newer computer
it's the
animated?
Newer one with with like where it pans across and there's a river and fireworks and all that. You watch The Lion King and Aladdin. I double checked those two. They both have that current logo on them, which feels wrong to me. Like
it does.
If I'm watching The Lion King, I want it to start like this. And I know it's a silly thing. It's a small thing, certainly. Yeah. It's not like I'm, I can watch it on my phone whenever I want. Boo-hoo. It starts with a different logo.
Right. No, but it is, and it is our generation nostalgia thing. Just like there's something even now rewatching these things where you hear that little jingle, that little musical riff. It's like a snippet of When You Wish Upon a Star, and then it has that little whistle.
And
you're just like,
there it is.
Something's gonna happen. Something special is about to start. I'm glad it's still intact on this one. Although I do wonder, they've talked about now that they found the original film or the masters or whatever they needed to restore When Love Is Gone in high definition. I wonder if they will replace that on Disney Plus with a version that includes When Love Is Gone, but also swaps out the old Disney logo for the new one. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So then the next thing we see is the Jim Henson Productions logo. This is the laser cut Kermit and the little buzz blue speck that turns into the dot over the letter I of the word Jim.
The word Jim, yeah.
We've probably talked about this before, right?
Yeah, I think it was on at least the Muppet movie. Or I
think
don't know.
It's been added to some of the older ones, yeah.
But some of the older ones had that like newer one than this, where Kermit's sitting on a camera or whatever.
Oh, the Jim Henson Pictures logo.
I'm not sure we have seen this yet. Well, but I think we saw this on Muppet Family Christmas, maybe. Because I know it was on the VHS for that.
Oh, okay. Because I think this was probably the first time that they used this logo in a new production. Right. I'm sure they've added it retroactively to old productions, but anyway, it's cool. I like it. I kind of...
Yeah, it also gives me a rush of nostalgia, much like the Disney one does.
Yeah.
Because I watched this so often. I was on the Fraggle Rock tapes that I had back in high school. Right. You know, the 2-episode releases.
Right, yeah. I don't know when they stopped using this, but obviously they can't use it now because Kermit is not a Jim Henson Company character. But,
right. And the company is not called Jim Henson Productions either.
Right. It's the Jim Henson Company, which, it is, Jim Henson Company always sounds so corporate to me. Like Productions is like they're producing things, they're making things, creative things.
It's the Dream Factory. Yeah. Hollywood.
Company is like, we are a company now. I don't know.
Business.
Exactly.
What is it called? The Hungadunger McCormick Marching Society. Merrill Lunch. Hungadunga.
All Accountant Marching Society. See, I got it wrong on Hubba Wah. I'm gonna get it wrong again.
Yeah, you'll get it wrong forever. Yeah.
Yep. So
it's called the Hardcastle and McCormick Accountant Society.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Then the movie becomes sad right away before anything has even happened, because the next thing that we see is this title that says "In Loving Memory of Jim Henson and Richard Hunt." So Richard Hunt had passed away just, I believe, at the beginning of the year in which this movie came out, at the end of the year.
Yeah, 1992, January.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people watching the movie in 1992 had no idea who that was.
I don't know if I knew who it was in 1992. I may have sort of vaguely recognized his name from the credits of Muppet Productions. Sure. But I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you that he was Scooter and Janice and, at the time.
Forgetful Jones, yeah.
Forgetful Jones, one of my favorites, yeah.
One of your favorites, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I knew that.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure I got the quote right, so I looked it up. 18 years ago, when Tough Pigs covered this in a classic My Week series with Danny Horn and Kynan Barker.
Oh, yeah.
Kynan said, in reference to this moment, "This was the first time I'd heard that Richard Hunt had passed away. So reading that caption was like, hey, Muppet fans, Merry Christmas. By the way, all your friends are dead."
Yeah.
That put a damper on things. And it's like, I get it. Again, as a kid, I didn't know who Richard Hunt was for sure until I read Jim Henson The Works.
Exactly.
In about 97 or 98, probably.
Right.
And so I never thought anything of it, But I do think it's nice that it's up front rather than at the end.
Yeah. And also nice that, I guess given that, this was still the era where that Jim Henson Productions was a relatively small group of people working together. I guess there's probably no reality in which they don't also memorialize Richard at the beginning, but it is nice that it's Jim Henson and Richard Hunt that
on the same screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing we see is the opening credits of the movie.
Yay!
Walt Disney Pictures.
They all have families.
Exactly. Walt Disney has family.
Mm-hmm.
Walt Disney Pictures presents from Jim Henson Productions. The next credit we see is a Brian Henson film. Have we talked about Brian Henson on the podcast before?
I'm sure we have, like in passing. I'm sure we have.
Right.
I can't imagine we've never said the name Brian Henson before. Right. We definitely talked about him in regards to the bicycle scene in Great Muppet.
Oh, that's right. Yes, we would
Which
have.
He's he's riding the trike in that or whatever.
Right.
but yeah, he hadn't done any performing in Muppet movies yet, really either.
Not in a Muppet movie, really. Yeah, not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't cover Return to Oz or Little Shop of Horrors on the podcast.
Or even Labyrinth.
Or Labyrinth, yeah, which I think we'll cover Labyrinth someday in some capacity.
We'll get to it, yes.
And those other ones might be fun bonus episodes if we run out of content or whatever.
Yeah, could be.
Because movies that you and I both enjoy in general,
right?
Muppet
adjacent.
So, yeah.
So who is Brian Henson? He is the third of 5 children of Jim and Jane Henson. As early as his teenage years, he was working with his dad on Muppet productions. It's a familiar part of Muppet lore to fans that he built the first Muppet Penguin for the Muppet Show. He worked on the bicycle sequence for the Great Muppet Caper, as Anthony mentioned. He performed Hoggle and Labyrinth and the Storyteller's Dog on The Storyteller. And then after Jim Henson died, Brian became the president, chairman, and chief executive officer of the Henson Company at the age of 27.
Right. And he's only 29 here.
Right. Which is just kind of staggering.
Yeah, he's only, and I looked it up because I was curious. His only directorial credit before this movie was an episode of Dinosaurs that aired in September of 92.
Oh, okay.
So he may have shot that after this movie was finished filming too. It's going to be a lot shorter post-production on a TV episode. It only came out 3 months earlier.
He didn't direct any of the other direct-to-video specials or anything like that?
No. At least according to IMDb.
Yeah, wow.
The earliest director credit is this, because he did later Dinosaurs too.
Right, yeah.
One of the Dinosaurs episodes has an earlier.
Right. Well, yeah, I think he was pretty closely involved with Dinosaurs.
Yeah. He performed characters. He did voices on Dinosaurs.
I was watching. Yeah. I watched the first season of Dinosaurs not long ago, and I was surprised at how often he popped up as just little various creatures here and there.
Right, because he has such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, exactly. You always know it's him.
Right.
But I don't know about you, but when I was 27, I was not in any state to be named the president, chairman, and CEO of any kind of company.
No. I became president, chairman, and CEO of my first middle school library at 27.
Right,
that was
and
the year
that's
I
enough
started as a school
responsibility.
librarian. Yeah.
So, yeah, he was obviously instrumental in keeping the company going around this time. And this was his first feature directing job, as we mentioned. I think he does a really good job.
Yeah, I think this is, we'll get more and more into this as we go along. But it might be the prettiest Muppet movie as far as I'm concerned. I think it looks great.
It does. Yeah, it does. And I watched I was watching on the Blu-ray. I think this director's commentary is on the previous DVD releases also. But when you listen to him talking about the movie, you can really hear how much he likes talking about all the complicated shots and puppetry tricks and camera tricks that they had to do to make things work. So I think he's just a really good technical director. And I have to wonder if he weren't so closely involved with running the Jim Henson Company, if he might have been off directing, fantasy movies, even superhero movies, because he seems to be really good at this kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's right.
Yeah.
And of course, he's only directed 3 features.
Yeah.
And it's a 22-year break between Treasure Island and Happy Time Murders?
Happy Time Murders, that sounds right, yeah.
Right? That was 96 and then 2018. That's a long time.
It is. I think he's directed a few other episodes of TV and...
Right, and he directed Jack and the Beanstalk, The Real Story.
Right, that TV miniseries.
Which is a 4-hour miniseries.
Right, yeah.
Featuring Bill Beretta as a giant.
Right. I saw that when it aired. I have not watched it since. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
I didn't see it then or now, so yeah. I don't know. I just remember it existing.
Right. And this was on that note. There's a featurette on the Blu-ray called "Frogs, Pigs, and Humbug: Unwrapping a New Holiday Classic."
That's the featurette from the 90s, right? Isn't it?
There was a making of TV special that aired in the 90s when this came out. I think this is a new featurette that incorporates some of that
footage
in addition to some new stuff with Brian and Gonzo and Rizzo talking about the movie.
Oh, right, but that's on the DVD.
It was probably, yeah, I don't know what's new to
Yeah,
the Blu-ray.
'cause-
There may have been nothing new
right.
to the Blu-ray, actually.
Right, because I don't have the Blu-ray, but I have the
You've seen
I
that
have
one.
both of the DVD releases.
Okay, yeah.
It's the only movie we own 2 DVD copies of.
Oh,
Because the full screen only one has that featurette.
right, okay.
You know? Yeah.
But there's a clip of Michael Caine from the time saying that he did not know that this was Brian's first movie as a director until about halfway through production when somebody mentioned it. He just kind of assumed that Brian had directed a Muppet movie before. So
right.
I guess when Michael Caine can't tell that you're new to directing, you're doing something right.
Right, for sure.
So the next thing we see on the screen is the title of the movie, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
And if this movie came out today, it would be called Muppets A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, or just Muppets Christmas Carol.
Muppets Christmas Carol. Yeah.
You gotta stick with that branding. It's gotta be Muppets.
Yeah.
Muppets.
Muppets Haunted Mansion is
Exactly.
awkward. It feels very awkward to me.
Very, and
like
even
special
Muppets
effect.
Mayhem sounds weird to me.
Muppets Mayhem is going to be the runaway hit of the season by the time we finish this season of the podcast.
I hope so.
We're all going to love it. It's going to be the best Muppet thing since Muppet Christmas Carol. Since the Muppets A Christmas Carol.
Wow, I don't know about that, but I don't know. I have high hopes for it, but
No, I hope
we
it's
always
good.
have high hopes for everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. I hope it's good. I liked Haunted Mansion. I didn't like Muppets Now.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Would you have liked it more if it had been called Muppet Now?
I would have liked. Yeah, that's so funny. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done with that thing. I just don't. I didn't think it was. It made no impression on me.
Yeah.
It didn't exist.
It's
already gone. You know.
I maybe 35% of it I liked, and then the rest of it, like you say, just kind of has faded from my memory already.
Right.
The other interesting thing about the title, the book is A Christmas Carol, right? But this is the Muppet Christmas Carol. This is not just any old Muppet Christmas Carol. This is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
The definitive article.
Right. According to Brian Henson, the idea of making the next Muppet movie an adaptation of A Christmas Carol was the idea. The idea came from Bill Haber, not Bill Hader, Bill Haber, who is the co-founder of Creative Artists Agency. At the time, he was, I guess, the Hollywood agent for the Muppets as an act. So he was the one who suggested why not have the Muppets do A Christmas Carol, and it was a good idea.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Now the camera starts flying over the rooftops of Dickensian London. So there was a video a couple years ago for the Oh My Disney show, which I think was a YouTube series, some kind of online Disney thing.
Oh My Disney was Disney's BuzzFeed imitation.
Oh, was it its own website?
Yeah, it was its own website, ohmydisney.com. And in Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, a terrible movie. Come at me, Wreck-It Ralph 2 fans.
I haven't seen it.
They go, it's bad. It's awful. They go to the internet where they go on ohmydisney.com. And in this feature film that came out in theaters, they say out loud, the happiest place on the internet, ohmydisney.com.
Oh boy.
And here's the thing, roughly a year and a half after that movie came out, in the spring of 2020, that website stopped existing.
Okay, that was my next question. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, so
it doesn't exist anymore. So, but no, here's the thing about Wreck-It Ralph 2. The Disney princess sequences are very funny and good, and anything that you hear positive about those 5 minutes, absolutely correct.
Well, but I feel like a lot of the jokes from that sequence were in the trailer, so
yeah, you saw all the best stuff.
I'm just trying to go to ohmydisney.com to see what happens. Oh, it just redirects to news.disney.com. So
yeah, but yeah, so they put all this effort in their one of the Disney canon, right?
Right.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah. Wow. Well, anyway, on this video for the Oh My Disney show, they had Brian Henson and Dave Goelz sit down together and watch this movie and talk about it. It's very cool. It's on YouTube on their official channel if you want to look for that. So in that video, Brian talks about how they built these models, which were just about 3 feet tall, he says, these buildings. He said to get the depth of field so it doesn't feel like a miniature, you have to shoot with the camera rolling very, very slowly. He also says that there are crew members pushing the models in front of the camera as the camera moves back. I'm gesturing, which the listeners obviously can't see, but just picture that the camera is rolling back, and as it rolls back, the crew members are pushing in each new row of buildings, so it looks like the camera is just gliding back over the buildings. Not the kind of thing you ever think about when you're watching the movie, but a lot of hard work went into it. So also now I apologize, Anthony, but I'm about to acknowledge the existence of Disney theme parks because
Okay.
just briefly, in 1995 I went to Disney World for the first time, and at MGM Studios they had the Backlot Tour, which also no longer exists, but it included this section where you could just walk around this big room and see all these props and set pieces from various Disney movies. In that room, up on a shelf, there was this set of snow-covered, old-looking miniature buildings. And my whole life after that point, I went around just with this belief or this memory that I had seen these London miniatures from Muppet Christmas Carol. But then a few years ago, I mentioned this to our friend Joe Hennis, and he asked a reasonable question, which was, how did you know that those were the Muppet Christmas Carol houses? And I was like, I guess I'm just pretty sure they were. And he asked if I had seen a plaque or a sign that actually explicitly stated that these were the houses from Muppet Christmas Carol. And I could not remember. So this made me question everything I thought I knew. But
Did you find out?
But in doing some research online for this season of the podcast, I stumbled upon a video on YouTube called Walking Around Disney MGM Studios 1993 Restored Home Movie. It's on a channel called Retro WDW if people want to find it. In this video, at the 16-minute and 30-second mark, there is a part where people go into a building called the Studio Showcase at MGM Studios. And there they are on a table. It's these miniatures, and they're accompanied by a sign that says they are from Muppet Christmas Carol. So I did see these buildings.
And you did see a sign.
I guess I must have, yeah. So there. So that's exciting.
So take that, Joe.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all this backlot stuff has been closed now at what's now Hollywood Studios, so I have no idea where these miniature buildings are now. But
yeah, I remember that Gary and Walter went there, and Alan Arkin was going to show them around, but it was closed. Yeah.
Oh well, that was actually shot at the Jim Henson Company lot in Hollywood. Actually, I was
just
Hollywood.
being silly.
Yeah, I know.
I was just being silly.
You were being silly, and it was funny, but you know that people would have corrected you in the Facebook comments.
That's true. That's true.
But also, I recommend people seek out that YouTube video anyway, because they also had on display at the time a bunch of puppets from this movie. Like you can see J.P. Gross in his Dickensian top hat and everything. So that's fun.
Awesome. That rules. Yeah.
So, do you have any comments about the London rooftops?
I like them. I'm for them.
Yeah, they look good. The next credit is from the novel by Charles Dickens. Anthony, do you want to tell us about the novel by Charles Dickens?
I do. So I maybe want to tell you too much about the novel by Charles Dickens.
Look, this is an episode. It's the beginning. It's just the two of us. This is the time to go crazy.
We're just hanging out. Yeah. So my wife, Rosalind, got me for Christmas this year, the annotated Christmas Carol by Michael Patrick Hearn, which is
nice.
It's great. Like specifically because she knew I would want it for podcasting purposes.
Oh, wow.
So that I can refer to it, because what I want to do throughout this season, in previous seasons, we have looked at earlier drafts of the screenplay. And this one, we don't have any earlier drafts of the screenplay, except in the sense that we have the original draft, the 1843 novel, A Christmas Carol.
It's true. Although I will say, if anyone out there has any connections or somehow knows how we could get our hands on a copy of like a first draft of the screenplay, please let us know, because we would love to have that anyway. And you could be anonymous if you wish to be anonymous, or or not be anonymous.
Right. We would love it.
Yeah.
But we do have A Christmas Carol. So like I said, it's published in 1843. And listeners may have heard before that it is often credited with reviving the popularity of Christmas in England. In 1652,
Wow.
189 years earlier, the Puritan government, the post-Oliver Cromwell Puritan government, had outlawed Christmas celebrations in England.
Really?
That's true. Yes.
Wait, why?
Because, well, okay, so now we hear about the war on Christmas, and we think of it as like the left is coming after Christmas, or like, right? Like that's what people say. That's not.
Yes, we think of it as a thing that people like hype up to try to get sympathy for themselves or whatever.
Right, but in the 1600s, they also had a war on Christmas, and it was coming from Christians who thought that Christmas celebrations were an excuse for drunkenness, an excuse for just like rowdiness in the streets, right? That they had co-opted all these pagan symbols, so it's not biblical, right? There's no holy day of Christ's birth in the Bible, right?
Right, it doesn't give a date, like a date on the calendar.
Right. So that's why it was like the Church of England saying, this is not part of the church, does not recognize this as a holy day. So then that went on, but before A Christmas Carol came out in 1843, there had been a few other books. This book in Hearn talks about Thomas K. Hervey's The Book of Christmas in 1835 and William Sandy's Christmas Carols Ancient and Modern in 1833.
Okay.
So there was kind of like this like Christmas revival spirit bubbling up. Meanwhile, Charles Dickens was the most famous novelist in England, right?
Right.
A Christmas Carol is his 7th book. How old do you think Charles Dickens was when he wrote A Christmas Carol, by the way, Ryan?
Ooh, boy. Well, I know that in general, people got old fast in those days. So you're saying this was his 7th book?
Seventh novel, yeah.
7th novel. I'll say that he was 31.
You are exactly right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and I think like, I know for me, like when I picture Charles Dickens, I picture Simon Callow on Doctor Who, right?
Oh,
Who's playing Charles Dickens like a year before he died in his late 50s. But yeah, he was 31 when this book. He's 2 years older than Brian Henson when he made Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, wow, yeah. Huh.
You know, I think, like you say, like I think we think of Charles Dickens as an old man, but he was not an old man. But 1842 had been a really rough year for him because Martin Chuzzlewit, his serial that he was writing at that time, Martin Chuzzlewit,
a very Dickensian name.
Very Dickensian name, was his least popular. It was just like, it has this whole sequence where the character goes to America and talks about how boorish everyone is there. And people talk about that still. Like you'll hear Dickens fans talk about, the America section. And there's actually a joke in that Doctor Who episode. Then the Doctor meets Charles Dickens. He says,
I've never even heard of that book though.
Martin Chuzzlewit. Well, it's not one of the famous ones. That's my point. You know, he had already written before that David Copperfield and Nicholas Nickleby and some of the other famous ones.
I guess I haven't really,
but
I've read Great Expectations. That might be it, and I have read A Christmas Carol, but
sure,
yeah.
I've read A Christmas Carol a bunch of times. I should say that it's like I first read it in college. I've probably read it 5 times. It's short. We should also say that it's short. It's only like 94 pages long.
Yeah, actually, let me ask you this: the book that my family had in our household when I was growing up had A Christmas Carol, and then it also had another Dickens story in it called The Cricket on the Hearth.
Cricket on the Hearth.
Is that a Christmas story? I never even read it. I'd always just skip past it.
It is. And that's the other thing about A Christmas Carol is, well, he wrote, starting with this one in 1843, he wrote 5 Christmas novellas over the next 6 years.
Wow.
And they're like, you can get them all in like, you know, a nice Barnes and Noble hardback or whatever, right? A Christmas Carol and other Christmas stories. But they're all around 100 pages. Cricket on the Hearth is Rankin Bass's second TV special, by the way.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
It stars Danny and Marlo Thomas.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So
it's hand drawn. It's like Frosty the Snowman style.
Oh, cool. I should seek that out. All this time, people just keep like remaking A Christmas Carol over and over again, adapting it over and over again, and there are all these other Charles Dickens Christmas stories that they could be adapting instead.
Yeah, and plus short stories. So he has like the 5 novellas.
Yeah.
Plus short stories, and he wrote. I should have written it down. I believe he wrote 21 novels.
Okay.
And 5 of them are those Christmas novellas. You know.
Wow.
But yeah, so he was kind of down on his luck. People were starting to feel like he was a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Because of this Martin Chuzzlewit thing. and then A Christmas Carol comes out and it was a big hit. 5 shillings. So the book only cost 5 shillings because he wanted it to be cheap so that it could get to a large audience.
Great.
And I looked it up. That's actually in US dollars, that's $15.96 today.
In today's dollars?
Not today's dollars, it's $15.96.
Oh, okay. So
that's like a reasonably priced hardcover, right?
Yeah.
You know, because it was a hardbound volume
for a short
obviously.
book. Yeah.
But it doesn't seem especially cheap to me. But yeah. So, anyways, it kind of turned his career around, and it did actually is credited at the time even with reviving the popularity of Christmas. Thomas Hood.
Oh, so that's actually true.
So this is one of the things cited in there. Thomas Hood in Hood's Magazine and Comic Miscellany in 1844, his review of A Christmas Carol. So again, it's a new release. It's a couple months old. If Christmas, with its ancient and hospitable customs, its social and charitable observances, were in danger of decay, this is the book that would give them a new lease.
Okay.
So like he's saying, if you're worried about Christmas going away, check out this thing, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's going to fill you with Christmas cheer, right?
Wow. It's interesting that the book is about a guy who doesn't like Christmas and learns to love Christmas, and it sounds like that's kind of what happened to the audience when this book came out.
Yeah, right. And I'll have a lot more stuff about this as we go on. Like I said, I want to kind of show how the movie corresponds to the book, and I think we all kind of know pretty well is the answer.
Yeah.
There's that famous segment from, I want to say it was CBS This Morning, where a curator at the Dickens Museum cited it as her favorite adaptation.
Right. Yeah.
Of the novel, right? Or the most faithful adaptation.
Right.
But in this segment, it's not, because there's no opening credits in the book. So, but there is a preface. Can I read the preface?
Sure.
I have endeavored in this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea, which shall not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it. Their faithful friend and servant, C.D. December 1843.
Nice.
Yeah. So that rules, I think.
Yeah, that's good. So this brings to mind in the song The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, there's that line about there'll be scary ghost stories.
Yeah.
Which inevitably, like every Christmas on Twitter, people are like, why do they say they're scary ghost stories? But so it was, I guess, at some point a tradition to tell scary stories at Christmas time, was this part of that tradition?
I mean, I guess so, yeah. I feel like I knew that at some point because a couple of years ago, I read Christmas, a Biography by Judith Flanders, which is a very thorough history of mostly European Christmas traditions.
Right.
But she talks about that. She talks about in Scandinavia, there's like a tradition in Norway and Sweden. There's a tradition called julebucking, where you like dress up in masks and go to your neighbors' houses on Christmas to like surprise them with carols and ask for a treat.
Okay. So it's like Halloween,
so,
Christmas.
Yeah. Huh. And it's called julebucking. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring that back in this country.
My Uncle Mark actually has done it. That's true.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Mark Strand. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. But yes, we will be looking at the book for the rest of the season. Listeners, I hope you're okay with that, because I really love A Christmas Carol.
Well, this is all fascinating to me. I hope it's half as fascinating to our audience as it is to me, because I love this stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm not even that far into the annotated yet, because the introduction is 112 pages long.
Whoa. Okay.
And I got about 40 pages in researching for this.
I see. Well, maybe this is a little peek behind the scenes, but we actually rescheduled this recording because Anthony was trying to make his way through the introduction to the annotated Christmas Carol. But 120 pages,
112, yeah.
112. Wow, that's that's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we say, there have been many adaptations of this book. There have been movies, plays, musicals, TV specials. Like I said, when I saw that ad in Disney Adventures, my first thought was kind of like, does the world really need another Christmas Carol adaptation? And it's funny because this one has now become kind of the definitive adaptation, at least to our generation, and maybe people younger than we are.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been, I would say the Robert Zemeckis one is the highest profile adaptation since this, for sure.
Since this,
the one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
And it's not great, I don't think.
I haven't seen it.
You know, it hasn't really become any kind of holiday classic.
Well, it's one of those motion capture animation things, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had no desire to see it when it came out because it just looked creepy.
And Jim Carrey plays everyone, like,
oh
yeah. I mean, you know how it is. Like, he plays Scrooge, he plays all the ghosts.
The ghost, yeah, all right.
And Gary Oldman plays Tiny Tim.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he's probably younger than Jerry Nelson was in this movie.
Oh, that's
he's not
true.
Really as convincing, you know.
Right.
He's definitely younger than Jerry Nelson.
Other versions, of course, include Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, which I have not seen, but I've people think very highly of it.
Oh man, you got to check that out.
I will before we finish the season. I will check out Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol.
I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
Do you know what's going to happen after you watch Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol?
I have no idea.
You'll have the Lord's bright blessing, and knowing we're together hand in hand. It's from it.
And I assume I'll know that song. Yeah. There was
that's my mom's favorite Christmas special, so I've seen it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Every year. Yeah.
There was a Flintstones Christmas Carol. I think that was a TV movie, maybe. Or just a special.
From the 90s. Right. Not great.
Yeah, years after the Flintstones series.
Right.
The Smurfs did one like in the last 10 or 15 years or so, like with the cast of the movies. I have not seen that either.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then, of course, Rich Little did a TV special where he played all of the characters as celebrity impressions, most of whom had been dead for many years. So.
Well, hadn't been dead. Most of them hadn't been dead that long in 1978. You know.
All right, but
I mean, I guess Bogart and W.C. Fields and stuff are in it. Yeah.
So celebrities who had reached the peak of their careers years earlier. How about that?
Right. Although Mrs. Cratchit is Jean Stapleton.
But it's like Jean Stapleton as the Edith Bunker voice.
As Edith Bunker, right? He's just doing an Edith Bunker imitation.
Yeah. So,
which of course, we cannot let this pass without talking about what that inspired, which is on the short-lived The Dana Carvey Show. There's a sketch called Rich Little's Easter Special,
right? Which
is like a takeoff on this, where he plays all the characters in like the biblical Easter story,
right,
as imitations, including. So it's Dana Carvey as Rich Little, as Jean Stapleton, as Edith Bunker, as Mary Magdalene.
Right. The other thing I remember about that, he says, and remember, folks, it's all completely me.
And it's so funny because it's like such a savage takedown of a TV special that was 20 years old at that time,
right?
And that nobody cared about. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it was on every year. It's like
no,
but it's so good.
Who's Jack Benny in that? In the Easter special sketch.
In the Easter special, he's Pontius Pilate, isn't he?
Okay. So they ask him something about like, should we set this prisoner free? And he says, I'm thinking it over.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So he must be Pontius Pilate, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But it's so funny to me that you're naming adaptations of A Christmas Carol and you're like, George C. Scott, who cares? Alistair Sim, doesn't matter.
Yes,
Patrick
these
Stewart,
are
get out of here.
No, those are the straight adaptations, and we can talk about those too. I'm just amused by all of the like spoofs and like there have been sitcom episodes where the characters on
Right.
the
Yeah.
sitcom
So
play
many.
the ghost
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Right. I played Scrooge when I was in ninth grade.
Oh, cool. I'm sure I knew that.
My brother Derek played Bob Cratchit too. It
My
was fun.
sister Erin, who has been on this podcast before, played the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh, not in the
stage
same production as me.
No,
For
no.
we should make clear to
No,
listeners.
in completely different states and times, probably.
Yeah.
But
Although she's only a couple years younger than me. Theoretically, we could have been in a high school production together had we not lived 2,000 miles apart.
Right, you could have. But the point is, there have been a lot of adaptations of this, but this is one of the best, or possibly the best one. The next credit that we see is for one of the starring actors. It says starring Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit. So
it sure does.
Having the Muppets play these previously written characters was basically a new concept for the Muppets. I mean, they had done a couple episodes of The Muppet Show where they're doing Robin Hood or Alice in Wonderland. But other than the fact that Gonzo and Rizzo speak directly to us, this one doesn't really have the same kind of self-awareness that the previous Muppet movies did. Like there's no indication that Kermit knows he's in a movie in this.
Right. Or Piggy.
Right. Or even that they're just playing it straight for the most part. I mean, Piggy has some funny stuff to do. But
right.
I think that's why they decided to do the opening credits this way, just to let us know, like, the Muppets are just playing these characters. Like, this is kind of a new thing for them. They're actors in this movie.
Right. And you're right. It's a new thing. And it's a thing that they didn't do that many times.
But I don't even remember if they did it in Treasure Island.
I think they do, yeah, because I can definitely picture Miss Piggy as Benjamina Gunn, right?
Okay.
But my point is they don't play different characters. Like, there's only 3 long-form Muppet productions that are adaptations of a thing.
Yes.
And the third one is Muppet Wizard of Oz, correct? Is that the title of that film?
I think it's The Muppets apostrophe Wizard of Oz.
The Muppets apostrophe Wizard of Oz,
yeah.
Which is bad and everyone hates it. So like that almost doesn't even count, you know?
Yeah.
But it's the thing that people are obsessed with still. People talk all the time online about what movie do you want the Muppet version of?
Oh,
why don't they make the Muppet version of things?
Yeah,
you know?
like,
and it's like, because this movie is so good at it that it makes it feel like that's what the Muppets do.
I guess. You know? I mean, it's a little bit, I don't know. To people like us who are not thinking about the Muppets all day, every day, I guess I can understand how you might see a post on Facebook that says, if you could remake any movie with the cast as all Muppets, what movie would it be? And they might be like, oh, that's a fun idea. I've never heard that before. And it would be exciting and novel to them, but it happens so often. And I think
it happens
you're right.
all the time.
Yeah, I think you're right, because people do think about this movie and Treasure Island to a lesser extent as like, oh yeah, this is what the Muppets do all the time. They just remake these old stories.
Yeah, right. And like, again, for people our age who were kids when these ones came out,
right,
that makes sense. You know, I think it's not 50-year-olds.
Right, people who were too young to have seen Muppets Take Manhattan in the theater. This was probably the first Muppet movie they saw.
Yeah, right. So that's why they do that all the time.
Yeah, I do wonder about, like, Actors Guild regulations. I guess they were just allowed to do this, crediting fake characters as actors in a movie.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know about the logistics of that.
We should ask Brian Henson next time we see him.
Yeah, I will. So the next credit, I'll just read off the next few credits. Miss Piggy as Emily Cratchit. The Great Gonzo.
Second build,
yeah.
It feels like in universe, that's like her agent Marty or whatever was very aggressive with her contract to get her second billing because she's barely in the movie, you know?
Right. I was going to say, yeah. So I think that's why, is because she is like the second most famous Muppet, and they're reassuring the audience, like, don't worry, you're not going to see Miss Piggy for a long time, but she is going to be in this.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then we have the Great Gonzo as Charles Dickens, then Rizzo the Rat as himself. By the way, you can find some t-shirts with those credits on them if you and your friend want to walk around wearing Charles Dickens and Rizzo the Rat t-shirts. You can find those on the Tough Pigs TeePublic store. So check that out.
I kind of hope, I think I've said this to you before, but I kind of wish we had one that was just both of them on one shirt on the front and the back.
Oh, I don't know.
Greg Gonzo as Charles Dickens, Rizzo the Rat as himself, and then I would wear that around. But
yeah, we'll have to look into the option of putting something on the front and the back. But yeah.
Yeah,
and I should
maybe
say
we can't do it.
It was our friend Joe's idea to put that on a t-shirt, so it was a very good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. So Fozzie gets credited kind of at the end of all these characters, which I guess, I mean, I would say he's more famous than Rizzo, but
he's not in this.
He's also
as
barely
much.
in it. Yeah, barely in it. He's a bear.
He wears a hat.
I guess that's why, because he has such a small role. And then the next one is Michael Caine as Scrooge,
which is so gracious of him. I know that like the and billing is also like
it's
and
prestigious.
Here's a big star often,
right.
But like he's absolutely the star of this movie. You know, Scrooge is absolutely the main character.
He
of this
really
film.
is.
And it's like Michael Caine is just like, well, he knows whose movie it is. He knows what the title is, right? So it's going to be all the Muppets first, and Michael Caine as Scrooge.
Right, even though he's the main character. It's not the Scrooge Christmas Carol. It's the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Right. And I guess we'll talk more about Michael Caine when we actually see him, like his credits and stuff, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure, we can save some of that, because we are starting to run a little bit long. But the next credit is Songs by Paul Williams. Now, we've talked about Paul Williams before, because he co-wrote the songs for the Muppet movie with Kenny Asher. He also wrote the songs for Emma Daughter's Jug Band Christmas. He would later write the songs for A Muppet's Christmas, Letters to Santa. He was on an episode of The Muppet Show. He is great. He talked about how this movie kind of came along at a crucial time in his life. He was... actually, this is from the interview that we did with him for Tough Pigs a while back. He said, "I've been totally sober since 1990, and the first thing they came up with for me was Muppet Christmas Carol, about a guy who's had a spiritual awakening. I've just had a spiritual awakening. I've been given my life back. I've been living in absolute gratitude. I've been imbued with a thankful heart beyond what I can even express, except now I'm going to express it." So that's a lovely sentiment, and this is obviously a very personal project for him.
Yeah, for sure. But he also, you mentioned the kind of like burst of activity with the Muppets in the late 70s. He was on the Muppet Show. He did Emma Daughter. He wrote the songs for the Muppet movies in the Muppet movie. This is the next time he worked with them after the Muppet movie.
Right.
It's 13 years or 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know, 12, 13 years. And he had no involvement with them at all during that whole time.
That's true.
And so it feels very much like, I don't know that this is the case, but like you say, with the spiritual rebirth for him and all that, like we've talked about like the family coming back together after Jim died or whatever. Right. It feels like that's why he's back, right?
Yeah.
The Muppets are moving on without Jim Henson. Here's reliable songwriter Paul Williams back in the fold.
Yeah, like bringing in a familiar part of the family.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, I think the songs in this all rule. I love
the songs are very good. Yeah, and they fit the tone of the movie perfectly.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the next credit, original score by Miles Goodman. I think his work on this is great. So his credits go back to 1974. They include the scores for Teen Wolf, Little Shop of Horrors, About Last Night, Problem Child, 30 Rotten Scoundrels, What About Bob, House Sitter. So he worked with Frank Oz several times.
He worked great. Well, he worked with Frank Oz 4 movies in a row right before this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 consecutive Frank Oz movies.
And that's why he did the score for this.
Right.
I mean, you know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Frank recommended him to Brian Henson.
Oh, okay. You know that. I mean, obviously. But...
Yeah. Right. Obviously. But also Frank said that in his interview at Muppet Central with Ken Plume a million years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's also the other one I had on my list is Dunston Checks In. Which You know, a lot of these are comedies, but they're sort of like it's still like a wide range of styles of comedies.
Right, right. Well, so two things. One, I do want to give a shout out to our friend Tom Holsty, who loves Dunston Checks In as a concept. I don't think he's ever seen the movie, but often at Oscar time, he will talk about how the front runner for this year's Oscars is Dunston Checks In, and it makes me laugh every time.
I saw it when it was new on VHS. I remember enjoying it at the time. I mean, it's like a silly kids movie about a chimpanzee or is he an orangutan? I think he's a chimpanzee.
He's an orangutan.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Dunston.
Just running around in a hotel. So I'm
right.
sure it's fun.
Actually, my other memory of Dunston Checks In, a film I have never seen, is the son or the kid with the orangutan friend is Eric Lloyd, the son from the Santa Claus. And,
okay.
And I remember they interviewed him in the aforementioned Disney Adventures magazine when Dunston Checks In was coming out, and one of the hard-hitting questions was, "Who's a more fun movie dad, Tim Allen or Jason Alexander?"
Ooh.
And his answer was, "They're both cool." I don't know why I remember that.
Still remember that after all these years.
Yeah, there's no reason to remember that.
Well, now we all know. So
right. But the other thing I was going to say about Miles Goodman.
Oh yes.
Is when Roz and I watched House Sitter just a couple of years ago, she commented that the music sounded like Christmas carols, and I was like, "No, it's not." And I said, "No, it sounds like Muppet Christmas Carol." Like,
did you know at the time that it was him?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I read the opening credits because that's what I'm like.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, it's Miles Goodman," and she's like, "Oh, you're right. It does. It sounds like Muppet Christmas Carol. It's not that it sounds like regular Christmas music.
Right.
It just sounds like Scrooge is walking around."
Sure. Well, this I don't know. He incorporates pieces of the songs and pieces of some old Christmas songs, and it's like there's a lot of brass. It just really
that's the thing that score had like trumpets in it.
Okay,
that's what it was.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're in Christmas time in England a long time ago when you hear the score.
Right. Well, and we should say, like, the overture here, I don't think Miles Goodman wrote any of this, right? It's all from the songs.
Maybe this is the part that starts with "It Feels Like Christmas."
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Because the whole thing is just like okay.
So it's like a theatrical overture. I mean, he may have orchestrated it.
Yeah, I don't know. And he passed away in what 1996 or something. Died young.
Yes, I think that's right. I did not write that down, but I believe that's correct.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good score.
Yeah. So the next credit, line producer David Barron. This guy has an interesting career.
Now, what is a line producer?
Oh, I don't know.
I do. I looked it up.
Oh, good. What is a line producer, Anthony?
It's basically the person who's responsible for staying on budget, responsible for tracking the expenditures.
Oh, okay.
On the movie. It's like the financial consultant, like advisor.
Basically. That's probably really important on a movie like this when you have puppets, which are hard to work with anyway, and then also like so many effects where things could go wrong and take a long time and go over time and over budget.
Yeah.
Good job, David Barron. He had previously worked with Jim Henson on The Storyteller Greek Myths as a production supervisor. He was the production manager for The Princess Bride. And later he was either a producer or executive producer on most of the Harry Potter movies and a bunch of stuff in recent years, including the live-action Disney Cinderella, which I have not seen, but I've heard that it's better than most of these other recent live-action remakes of Disney movies.
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, okay. Well, folks out there, if you've seen it, tell us what you think of it. And how do you think David Barron did as a producer on it? Then there's one more credit that appears just briefly before this clip ends, and that is production designer Val Strazovec, I think.
Sure.
He's from Czechoslovakia. He actually passed away not that long ago in 2020. He worked on several Muppet productions. Most of his IMDb credits are actually Muppet projects. He was a production designer on The Muppets: A Celebration of 30 Years, Muppets Tonight, The Christmas Toy, A Muppet Family Christmas, the Dog City episode of the Jim Henson Hour, which
must have been so fun.
Talk about excellent production design. Yeah, he just helped create an entire alternate universe occupied by like dog gangsters.
Right. Well, didn't he win an Emmy for that?
Oh, did he? Jim Henson did for directing it. Did he also?
I think so. Let me see. I'm gonna double check.
He deserved it.
No, he did not. He did win an Emmy, Outstanding Art Direction for a Variety or Music Program for the Tony Bennett episode of Muppets Tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else happens in the Tony Bennett episode other than the Tony Bennett stuff.
Well, but there's a lot of like Sal wandering around outside in the rain and stuff. So maybe it's like that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the like city streets.
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah. That's good stuff. He also worked.
Plus, maybe he designed all those props. There's all this like Rigatoni Bennett and.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess
Sergeant Tony's Lonely Hearts Club Gang and all that stuff.
I guess he would be involved in that.
Yeah.
He also worked on Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree, A Muppet Treasure Island, and he was a design consultant on Elmo in Grouchland. So he was obviously very good at creating worlds for Muppets to occupy. Awesome. He also, I noticed on IMDb, he worked on a 1999 movie I have never heard of called Must Be Santa, which featured, Anthony, one of your favorites, Dabney Coleman.
Dabney Coleman is one of my favorites.
Have you seen Must Be Santa?
I have not. Does Dabney Coleman play Santa? Must Dabney Coleman be Santa?
So the synopsis on IMDb is, through a cosmic mix-up, a shiftless but good-hearted man is accidentally tagged to be the new Santa Claus after the old Santa dies. The gruff, no-nonsense manager of the North Pole is decidedly unhappy with the selection. So my sense is that Dabney Coleman is probably the gruff, no-nonsense manager of the North Pole. I'm
sure he is. But I'm going to need you to scroll down and see who played previous Santa in that film, Ryan.
Oh, I don't have the IMDb page open right now.
Oh, well, check it out. It was Jerry Parks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Doc
so
himself.
We should probably watch Must Be Santa.
We probably should.
That'd be good.
Yeah. That's great. So, that's actually brings us to the end of this clip at last. So, I think that is actually all I have. Anthony, do you have any other notes or final thoughts?
No, that's definitely all I have.
Okay.
Until next week.
Great. Yes, and we promise that future episodes will be shorter than this.
Yeah, we'll be back to our regular shorter length, hopefully.
Pretty soon, yeah.
I'm just so excited about Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's a good one. So with that, we can wrap up for this week. Like wrapping a Christmas present. So make sure, everyone, that you check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and all of those things. We have a Patreon if you would like to support us and help us keep on doing what we're doing. We love hearing from you. If you have thoughts on this episode, on this movie, on these minutes, on these credits, on these logos, feel free to drop by our Facebook page, Twitter, or email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. Let us know what's on your mind. Or stop by the Tough Pigs forum, which is linked on the front page of the website. You can find me on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe and on Letterboxd at MoviesAreNeat. Anthony is on Letterboxd at ZeppoMarxist. And listeners also, if you don't mind, please give us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you can give us a positive review. And tell your friends about the show. You know somebody who's not a huge Muppet fan, but they love this movie. So you know that they would enjoy this season of the podcast. So tell them about it. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
Why isn't Wander McMooch in the opening credits?